Thanks for checking out this horror debate series video. So if you're not familiar with how things go, because there are always new viewers showing up, just know that I'm going to give my video for the most accessible foreign horror film. Then linked in the description is your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete's channel, who I do this series with. Go over to his channel, watch his video of the same name, and then you can come back to my channel if you want. You don't have to. Go to the community tab and vote for who you think did the best job or had the best pick or whatever criteria you personally want to use. There's also a tie option if you want that. So yeah, let's get into it. The most easily accessible foreign horror movie. Now, for people who have been following this series, I have picked a film that I've already picked before. This is the same film that I had picked for the most heartbreaking ending to a film, and I thought about, oh no, I can't pick the same thing. But then when I thought about it more, I was like, well, I'm going to be talking about different aspects of this film. It's not a total retread, although there's like a few things that are retreading it, mainly the end of the film, because it is a very impactful, heartbreaking film. But it fits. I literally think that Train to Busan is the most accessible foreign horror film. And the reason that Uncle Pete and I are doing this specific topic for horror debate is to kind of give people some ideas for the people in your life who might be a little horror curious and they're just into non-foreign horror films, but you kind of want to give them that little push to be like, hey, you're missing out on so many wonderful foreign horror films. And this is one that I hear time and time again from people who don't want to wade into the foreign horror pool, that they're so glad they did once they watch this film because it's very impactful and it's just a phenomenally done film. So let me go over my bullet points for this one. First things first, it is a zombie film, which is one of the most popular subgenres of horror. I think we can all agree on that. Even though it's very overdone, people are still watching zombie films, and it's very well known that people who aren't even necessarily into horror can end up being into zombie films. So I feel like for that reason, it has that more easily accessible aspect to it. It's familiar for people. Everyone's familiar with zombies. Everyone knows what they're going to end up getting, so it's comfortable going into it. The other thing is, this is a rare one because it's actually a really good zombie horror film, because there are so many zombie films out there that just are terrible or they're run-of-the-mill because there are so many that just aren't unique. They don't have their own feel to them. This one does. It looks great. The story is wonderful. It's very impactful. All that great stuff. So it would be a great film to kind of hit people in the right way and make them say, wow, foreign horror really does have a lot to offer. Or maybe at least South Korean horror has a lot to offer, and maybe they want to look into more of that. Next bullet point, the characters are very well written, and you definitely form strong feelings about those characters, whether it's the main character and his daughter and that relationship that goes on there that obviously leads to that crescendo at the end of the film, or whether it's the really despicable characters who end up screwing people over who are trying to survive in this film. People have very strong feelings that end up being formed for these characters, and that speaks to the fact that it's very well written. If a filmmaker can make audience members feel things they don't want to feel or feel strongly about characters, that means the writing is awesome, and the writing is awesome with Train to Busan. The pacing is excellent with plenty of intense action sequences. One of the scenes that I think about most when I think of the pacing of this film and intensity is the scene where they're on the train, because obviously it's Train to Busan, just a train full of zombies, which also is a really cool, unique concept, and a lot of people will be like, wow, that ups the ante because you're in a very enclosed space with zombies. That's hard to do. But it's that scene where they're kind of trying to, without making a whole lot of noise, sneak past the zombies by going up, like crawling up on like the luggage rack portion. It is so intense, and you are just on pins and needles hoping that someone does not make a noise, because there are these characters who you really care for at this point. They all have their own unique personalities, and a lot of them you want them to survive. But pacing is wonderful with this film, so people would not be getting bored. The ending will stay with everyone and potentially even make people cry. Like I talked about in the heartbreaking video, the most heartbreaking ending for a horror film video, This one is deeply affecting. Literally, when I watch this film and I see the ending, I do cry because they've done such a wonderful job of working up that relationship between the father and his daughter. You know, obviously it wasn't there in the beginning, but how he is able to redeem himself as a father and save his daughter and kind of meet that ultimate moment of getting to where he wanted to be, and then how everything ends. You get sucked in. And again, it's like I was saying, you know, if a filmmaker can make people feel things they don't want to feel, that means it's so well done. And this film resonates with people. So many people get hit by the ending of this film, but by the whole film in general. And for that reason, it is a perfect way to kind of make people say, wow, when they watch this film and say, is there so much more out there to foreign horror than I thought? What else am I missing out on, honestly? My second to last point, the technical aspects of this film are outstanding. The score is wonderful. The direction is wonderful. The cinematography is wonderful. It looks so good. The acting is so well pulled off. I talked about the writing of the characters. Yeah, that's amazing. But you need excellent actors to be able to pull that off, and I think every single one of them pulled it off to great degree. This is a great film. I love it. And then my last point that I want to make is it's done so that it's easily relatable to people of all cultures. This isn't one of those films where you have to know the culture. You know, you don't have to. It's something that feels very universal, especially because zombie films are super universal. The concept of just a bunch of strangers having to survive in this post-apocalyptic zombie world on a train is pretty universal. That could happen pretty much anywhere. And even if, you know, people don't live near a train, they could think of other enclosed areas where that would end up happening. But there aren't too many like cultural things, like South Korean cultural things that go into the film that don't make it feel relatable to people. Like, it's very relatable. The characters are relatable. The decisions some of the characters make are relatable. The situation's relatable for that scenario. And the feelings, the emotions, and everything is very relatable. So it feels more comfortable and like other films that people have seen before, except they're reading subtitles for it. And I know that, you know, there are a lot of people out there who don't like to read subtitles, but it's films like this that make those individuals realize if you're not doing that, you're missing out big time. So that is why I had to pick Train to Busan as my number one pick for the most, let's see if I can remember this, most accessible foreign horror movie. It's a long one. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching this. Thanks for watching this series and participating. We do love the comments, so go ahead and comment down in the or down below. You can do it on Uncle Pete's page too, and I can, you know, or his channel. And I've said this before. I think I want to say it at this point because I think it's been a while since I said it. If you want to, you can just copy and paste the exact same comment because we don't read the comments on each other's videos necessarily. So you can just copy and paste. It'll save you some time. But anyway, please help us out. Hit subscribe to both our channels if you haven't already, because we are small YouTubers just doing this for the love of it, and seeing that support really does help us. Hit the notification bell button if you want to know when we're putting up new videos, which between the two of us, we're doing a lot. Could give you a lot of viewing time between the two of us. And also go ahead and, wait, there's one more thing. Thumbs up. That's what it is. Sometimes I have these days, people, you know. Thumbs up on this video or any video you watch of ours helps with that stupid YouTube algorithm. But anyway, thanks again for checking this one out. Until next time, keep it brutal.